Let's talk about legendary Pokemon. We all know them. These are the elite, rarest, and most powerful Pokemon in the entirety of the Pokemon world. Most of the time. Well, it's about time I talked about my favorites. So in this video, I give you my favorite legendary Pokemon of every type. And just as a heads up guys, I'm including Mythicals and Ultra Beasts cause guess what? They count as legendaries. And if you're the type that gets triggered by that, just leave now. We don't want you here. But before we get started, a quick shout out to this video sponsor, Manscaped. Manscaped is the best when it comes to below the waist grooming and hygiene. Now this might seem kinda random, but I wouldn't be promoting this if I didn't think it was useful for you guys. That's why I introduced to you the new and improved Manscaped Lawnmower 3.0. This is their 3rd generation trimmer featuring a cutting edge ceramic blade and advanced skin safe technology. The battery will last for up to 90 minutes for those who need a longer grooming session, and it even has an LED light to help you see in those tough places. That's f***ing awesome. With promo code TrainerZach, you'll get 20% off and free shipping on the Perfect Package 3.0. Every 3 months, you'll get a free replacement blade, which is nice, and for a limited time offer, you'll get the Shed Travel Bag and anti-chafing Manscaped Boxer Briefs. I'm not gonna show you them, but they're hella comfortable. Manscaped. When you trim the hedges, the trees stand taller. Manscaped. Get rid of the funk and shave your Manscaped. They're good. Alright guys, we're going in order from least to most favorite legendary. So let's get started with my favorite rock type, Nihilego. This Pokemon is definitely not top 10 worthy in my book, but I still think it's pretty cool. Nihilego is basically the mascot for the Ultra Beast. This is because of its involvement in the main story of Sun and Moon. Plus, it's just the perfect Pokemon to introduce the concept. It's strange, it's kinda creepy, and this is why it's gonna be one of the more memorable Ultra Beasts. Also because it looks like Lily. Favorite bug type goes to Genesect. Now sure, Gen 7 gave us Buzzwole and Pheromosa, but Genesect is just way cooler. It's basically Gen 5's version of Mewtwo, with it being created by Team Plasma and all. And even though its movie kinda sucked, I still just really like this Pokemon because of its concept. I also like how it has the different drives to pretty much give it different type attacks. Very useful. Favorite ice type goes to Articuno. Out of the few Ice-type legendaries we have, Articuno is the most majestic, and that's why I like it. It's such a classic, simple, and yet beautiful design. Probably my favorite representation of Articuno has to be in the Pokemon Adventures manga, when Red encounters it, and then later on even teams up with it along with Blue and Green with the other birds to take down Ho-Oh. That was really cool. No pun intended. Favorite dark type goes to Darkrai. I feel like no other Pokemon better embodies the dark typing than Darkrai. Like most of us, I feel like I really started to like Darkrai because of the 10th Pokemon movie. It was such a cool plot twist to make the evil Pokemon the misunderstood good guy. That really stuck with me. Also, how could you forget Tobias' Darkrai that basically swept the Sinnoh League? It's had such great representation in the Diamond and Pearl anime, which made this Pokemon extremely memorable for me. Favorite fire type goes to Entei. Okay, so a trend you'll start to notice is the fact that a lot of my favorite legendaries are because of the movies, and Entei is no exception. Seeing it in action against Charizard in the 3rd movie made me really love this Pokemon. Sure, it had enhanced abilities because of the unknown, but back then as a kid, it made me believe that the real Entei was just as overpowered. Too bad he's a pain in the ass to catch in the games. Favorite normal type goes to Silvally. Yes, it's a legendary. How ironic that I think the fake god Pokemon is cooler than the real god Pokemon. I just really like the whole concept of a Chimera Pokemon specifically created to take on the Ultra Beasts. It's an interesting backstory which a lot of other legendaries lack. Plus, he's owned by Edgelord Gladion, and who doesn't love Gladion? Favorite grass type goes to Celebi. Alrighty, another movie Pokemon. This time it's from movie 4 with the debut of Celebi. It's just so damn cute, and as a kid, I wish I could become best friends with it like Ash and Sam. Of course it was sad to see it almost die, but then we get the scene where it gets restored by all of its Celebi friends, or alternate timeline versions of itself. I still don't really get that scene, and that's what really impacted me. Such a visually amazing and sweet scene that made me love Celebi even more. Favorite steel type goes to Melmetal. I'm sure everyone remembers the weirdness that was Meltan's reveal. We thought it was ugly and fake and not Pokemon-like in the slightest. But once I saw it in action, especially in the anime, I fell in love with this little dude. And seeing Ash's turn into Melmetal was really awesome. It's amazing how expressive this Pokemon can be, all things considered. And now, I really love Melmetal and actually want to use one in-game, and that's a pretty big deal considering I typically don't do that. Favorite electric type goes to Tapu Koko. I love this dude. It has such a cool design with it being inspired by a totem pole and whatnot. I'm not really one for using legendaries during the main game, but I sure as hell had fun using one during the battle royales, so I guess that's where we truly began to bond. It's also got a great ability, great speed, and to top it all off, great anime representation. Ooh, that battle. Favorite water type goes to Suicune. I first saw it in movie 4, and I thought it was so awesome how it showed up to help Ash and Sam. I remember talking about the movie with my friends and always bringing up this moment. I think all the legendary beasts are great, and I even have Entei on the list, but Suicune always got way more focus. I mean, it's even the mascot of its own Pokemon game after all. I also mostly just really love its design. I cannot get enough of it. Favorite ground type goes to Zygarde. During the XY days, I didn't really think too much of Zygarde. I just thought it was a generic third legendary that was eventually gonna get its own game. But then Zygarde pulled up with not 1, not 2, but 3 new forms. And it sells.
My favorite's the Scooby-Doo form.
This made him a whole lot more interesting, and made us more and more excited about its potential. Zygarde and Pokemon Z is all I talked about when I first started this channel, so the more focus I put onto it, the more it started to grow on me. And now, I really like Zygarde. Although it was straight up disrespected in the games department, I'm at least glad this legendary got some awesome shine in the XYZ anime. So I'll take that over a Pokemon Z any day. Just kidding. Give us Pokemon Z, damn it. Favorite ghost type goes to Lunala. Now when I first went through Gen 7, I played through Pokemon Moon 5 times, and then played Ultra Moon. This is cause I'm a big fan of Lunala. The reason I love this legendary is because of the connection you have with it during the main story. This is a legendary Pokemon that is actually part of your journey as a little Cosmog, Nebby. And since I picked Pokemon Moon so many times, Lunala is the legendary I ended up getting very attached to. I love this ghostly bat. Favorite poison type goes to it's Naganadel. Naganadel, guys. Ever since Poipol's reveal, I knew I was gonna like it. It's just so damn cute, and seeing it in the anime made me love it even more. Then it went ahead and turned into a dragon. Sign me the f up. Naganadel is so damn awesome, and like Poipol, seeing its personality in the anime just amplified how much I felt about it. I even managed to use one in my recent playthrough of Ultra Moon, and it was a lot of fun. Favorite fighting type goes to Urshifu. Now like I said before, I'm not big on using legendaries in the main game, but I do make some exceptions for my favorites. But in the Isle of Armor, you kinda have to use Cubfu to progress in the DLC story, so using it in-game and getting used to its cute little expressions just made me quickly grow attached to it. And when it came time to evolve it into Urshifu, it was so satisfying. Felt like we earned it. Because of that, I fell in love with Urshifu, and it quickly shot up to my list of favorite legendaries, hence why it's here. It also just has a really cool design, and I like both of its different fighting styles. And of course, I can't leave out its badass Gigantamax forms. Mwah, they're great. Favorite flying type goes to Lugia. This legendary is very special to me. The reason I love it so much is because it reminds me of my childhood. I first laid eyes on Lugia in Pokemon the Movie 2000. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. So it was only fate that my first ever Pokemon game just so happened to be Pokemon Silver on the Game Boy Color. Oh yeah, and how could I forget, but I also loved seeing it in its awesome shadow form in Pokemon XD. Such a great spin-off game. There's not really much else I can say about Lugia. I just really liked it as a kid, so it's always stuck with me ever since. He is mostly here for nostalgia reasons, but still, he's a pretty cool guy in my eyes. Favorite fairy type goes to Zacian. Zacian is such a damn cool legendary. A wolf with a goddamn sword in its mouth? I had to pick sword. This legendary looks majestic and badass at the same time. It's amazing. My favorite moment in Sword and Shield is when Zacian pulls up with Zamazenta to help take down Eternatus. That whole scene along with the music is so epic and just added to my love of Zacian. Favorite dragon type goes to Rayquaza. First of all, look at its design. It's a badass godly dragon. Without a doubt, this Pokemon reminds me of Shenron from Dragon Ball, another franchise I love. Rayquaza is probably the most dragon-y dragon of all dragon types. That's a mouthful. More than you, and especially you. I first fell in love with Rayquaza back in Pokemon Emerald, cause you get a freaking level 70 Rayquaza by the 8th gym. Hell yeah, I'll take it. After that, Rayquaza proceeded to annihilate the Elite Four and Champion, and the rest was history. We were best pals forever. Till I traded it in the GTS. I was 10, okay? And lastly, favorite Psychic type and all-time favorite legendary goes to Mewtwo.
Honorable mention for Necrozma.
Listen, I love this Pokemon. Every time I see Mewtwo, I think of the first Pokemon movie. How could you not? We're not talking about movie 16. They made Mewtwo seem like the most unstoppable Pokemon ever. And I mean, it kinda was in Gen 1. When I was a kid, I used to think that Mewtwo was a combination of every single type, cause there was no other way to explain its power. Because of this, I always save my Master Balls to catch Mewtwo. No other Pokemon is honestly more deserving than Mewtwo in my opinion. And when Generation 6 came along and gave it 2 Mega Evolutions, you know I was all for it. I mentioned early on how Nihilego is the mascot for the Ultra Beast, right? Well, Mewtwo is so iconic that it's basically the mascot for all legendary Pokemon. He's just that awesome. Thanks for watching everyone, and thanks again to Manscaped for sponsoring this video. Make sure to live your life to the fullest, and have yourself a damn good one.